Hello, I'm Vaughn Schmidt, and this is a Team 7 project presentation for the CIS600 IT Project Management course at Colorado State. Team 7's project was creating a project plan for web application for the U.S. Department of Agriculture's Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service. Before we jump into the project, let me introduce the project team. Justin Shepard was a California State University undergrad and got a MS in geography at San Diego State. He's currently working as a GIS developer for the USDA Office of Chief Information Officer, and he was our connection to the USDA APHIS program. On the project, he acted as a project sponsor and owner and provided a lot of insight and information into how APHIS functions. Next, there's Paul Savage. Paul graduated CU Boulder Electrical and Computer Engineering, and he's currently working as an IT team lead for a development lab. On the project, his role was primarily schedule and budgeting. Scott Sevey graduated Brigham Young, and he was computer information technology. On the project, his role was primarily risk identification management. And as I mentioned earlier, my name is Vaughn Schmidt. I graduated Clemson University in mechanical engineering. I currently am an IT project manager, and my project role on this project is project manager. I want to turn the presentation over to the rest of the team and let them fill in the details.
The APM project is being developed for APHIS, which is the Animal and Plant Health Inspection Service agency within the U.S. Department of Agriculture. Now, their mission is to protect the health and value of American agriculture and natural resources. Their challenge, though, is how to do this in an efficient manner, given the amount of land that means they need to cover. And this brings us to the heart of the APM project. The idea here is to give the agency more data to be able to make a better informed decision, while at the same time empowering the public to be part of the process and giving the public more access to data visualization so that they know what is going on and where these pests are occurring. Now, the APM will have a front end, which is a mobile web application, and this will house the two main deliverables. First is the data visualization, which will be in the series of maps. And then you will also have a component for pest identification and reporting. Once a pest has been identified and reported, that report will go to the agency, as well as be fed into the APM for visualization. That data going to the agency will let them make better decisions on how to use their resources in the field. Those resources will collect their own data, and those results will also be processed into the APM datasets. To start with, APM is focusing on just one pest, because it's not realistic to build this out of the gate covering every pest that APHIS is interested in. But we did choose citrus greening disease because this has been identified as one of the most serious citrus plant diseases in the world. Given that, we believe that it will carry public support as well as political support to continue this moving forward, and the commercial industry will be very interested to see how this goes. So looking at the main deliverables, we have the pest identification and reporting components. The idea behind the pest identification resource is that we need to give the public a way to go out into the field and say, with some certainty, this pest is occurring at a specific location. Now, if I were to go out into an orchard, I wouldn't be able to identify any pest. But with the proper tools in hand, I could go through these resources and say, you know, this actually does look a lot like what I'm seeing. Then I would be able to go to the submittal form. And in that form, it would be fairly straightforward of what is the pest that you've identified, where are you? So if the device is equipped with GPS, it could capture the coordinates. If there isn't a GPS, then the user could either enter an address or select from a map where they are. And then when they submit that, it would go through the processing in the back end. Now, I said that the data needs to be processed before it goes onto the map. And this is why our data visualization and access deliverable is considered a near real-time heat map. We aren't looking to take the data and instantaneously turn around and serve it back out, because that data needs to be reviewed. There needs to be some processing in place to make sure that it's appropriate data. And from the agency side, when their data gets incorporated, again, that's not going to be live data feeds coming in. It's going to have to be reviewed and approved for sharing with the public. However, the data can be generalized and processed in an automated way, which is why we say it's near real time, because this could be batched to run every night. And I mentioned generalization. This is where the heat map comes into play. The APM wants to make sure that we're providing data and empowering users, but that we're not inadvertently damaging anyone's business. We don't want to give exact locations of where a pest is occurring, because we don't want investors to shy away from somebody's business just because the public is reporting that there might be pests on their property. But by sharing out a heat map, which is showing a generalization of the data, including both public and agency data, we believe the public would be able to get value from that, as well as protect the businesses.
This slide shows the actual deliverables of Team 7's project. These deliverables are project management documents that can be used to manage the project should it be implemented. This would allow the new project team to understand all that they need to carry out the project. For the purpose of this coursework, we consider this project a success in that it provided the opportunity to exercise all the major project management tools and techniques. Our team was able to follow the approach provided by both the class textbook and the Pembroke, and gain a deeper understanding and appreciation for a structured approach to project management. We believe that we have delivered a good set of baseline documents that could be used by a future project manager and project team to execute this project.
Hello, my name is Paul Savage and I'm on Team 7. I'm going to talk about the project management tools we used and some of the things that went right and some of the things that could have gone better on our team. We used many tools that were discussed in class and in our book to help us put our project together. I'm going to speak to a few that were critical to our success. We had to rely on expert judgment to come up with the task and the cost estimate that went into our work breakdown structure. Once we had the work breakdown structure, it helped us create the Gantt chart. The Gantt chart was the backbone of our project. Once finished, it told us if we were on track to complete the project on time and within budget. Some of the things that went right on our project. Right from the start, we had a good communication and cohesion as a team. I believe that this was important and made us successful. We were able to divide up the work nicely and everyone participated and pulled their weight. Google Docs helped us collaborate and have one location for our team documentation. It was available to everyone at any time. That way, people could do their part on their own schedule. Some of the things we could have done better. Some team members were in different time zones, and it made it difficult finding times when we could all meet and make team decisions. But we were able to overcome this, and we were able to be a successful team. Some of the things that our team learned by working on this project. The project was very good at reinforcing the idea of using a structured approach of well-defined project management processes in conjunction with the vast tools and techniques to build and execute a project plan. The project management process and techniques are very useful at helping to eliminate the blind spots by enforcing rigorous examination of the project up front. As a side note and a self-assessment, I believe our team members did a very good job, and I think we were able to easily split up the workload and have a good balance of skills, previous experience, and interest. Thank you.
Okay, I'm back. I'm going to try to wrap everything up. here with a little bit of review and reflection on the project manager position. I was originally nominated, I guess, through a series of events. I'd originally nominated Justin as PM, but then Justin suggested that he would be a better fit as a sponsor role, and in turn flipped the nomination around and nominated me. And the rest of the team endorsed the decision. So that's where I ended up as PM for this team project. As the project manager, my main goals were to just keep the project coursework on track and to coordinate meetings and schedules and the workload, and try to keep the focus both on the project itself, but also what us as a team had to do as far as delivering coursework in fulfillment of the class requirements. So it was important for me to keep a balance on project momentum and all the other scheduling issues that the individual team members had. I also tried to guide the conference call conversation as needed, but really it wasn't needed that much. The whole team communicated well, and there's a lot of cooperation on the conference call, so there wasn't much of a need to step in there. I'm supposed to do a review, a peer review, which is oddly self-serving, I guess, but in what the rest of the team wrote in the report was I did a good job, and so a thumbs up on my role as project manager. Finally, a reflection. I've personally been PMP certified since 2010, but until recently my primary role has been more in manufacturing and production projects. This APM web project for the course has really reinforced my desire to transition to more of an IT project management role. Everywhere, all the IT work I'm doing, I find that it's much more aligned with my personal interests, and also the attitude of everybody in IT, it just strikes me as a lot different from the attitude of a lot of the people I've worked with in manufacturing and production projects. IT is more open and more contributive, and it just seems to be more inclusive and cooperative environment. It's been very enjoyable for me to work with. To wrap everything up, I believe this APM project was a success. It reinforced the coursework lessons with tangible hands-on experience, and for me it demonstrated the value of an organized framework to plan your project around. You have a methodology that you follow, and if you follow the methodology, even if you don't use every piece of it, it will force you to look in blind spots and to think about things that you may have overlooked if you hadn't done so. Although we stopped short of a full implementation, the project provided a very good feeling of what's needed to pull together a major development product. Thank you.